left. Beautiful. And which one do you think is more complex? Let me turn off the lights so you guys can really get a feel for what is going on inside these guys. Which one do you think is more complex? Oh, wow. Yes, the eukaryotic cell over here. Beautiful. Okay, so what we are going to do, I'm going to show you guys a quick video clip about prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. And what I want you to do in your notes, and if you've already started with your notes, writing your notes, go ahead and write it just at the top of your binder paper right here. But you're going to write down 2 similarities and 2 differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So you're writing down 2 similarities and 2 differences. Now you keep the video, so you're ready to go. All right. What are some similarities and differences that you saw between the 2 cells? We'll start with similarities. So what did you see that was similar? Gregor?
They both have DNA.
Excellent. They both have DNA. Beautiful. El Quinton?
They both have cell membranes and ribosomes.
Excellent. They both have cell membranes and ribosomes. The prokaryotic cell also has a cell wall. But yes, they both have cell membranes and ribosomes. What else? Excellent. Cellular respiration takes place. Beautiful, Rashana?
They both grow and manufacture.
Excellent. They both have to grow and maintain energy. Beautiful. What did you guys see that was different? What did you see that was different between the 2 cells? Jemiah? Excellent. Prokaryotic cells tend to be bacterial cells, so they're bacterial. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the different cells that could either make up or make up part of an organism. So an organism is a living thing. So when we talked about the levels of organization, we started at biosphere, looking at the different biomes, and we went all the way down to atom, and now we're moving up, back up to cell. So we're going up to cell, and we're going to be looking at tissue this year as well a little bit. All right, so there are 2 different types of organisms. There are 2 different types. You guys are writing this in your notes. We have our unicellular organisms, and just like unicycle, means 1. So our unicellular organisms consist of only 1 cell. All prokaryotes are unicellular organisms, so they're just 1 tiny little cell all alone in the world. Well, with hundreds of millions of others that are just like them. So now you guys can get sick. So all forms of bacteria, amoeba, yeast cells, help make bread, and paramecium are examples of unicellular organisms. So organisms that just have 1 cell. So when you hear the word part una, just remember 1. Multicellular organisms are made up of more than 1 cell. So we have organisms, and you can have 2 different categories. You have either multicellular or unicellular, and then it goes down to cell type. So what cells are they made of? Multicellular organisms tend to be more complex. We are made up of billions and billions of cells, and arguably the smartest animal on the planet. So examples, humans, animals, plants, and fungi are all made up of more than 1 cell. So after the Thanksgiving break, we're actually going to get a chance to look at our cheek cells and look at some samples of onion cells. You guys are going to see how tiny cells really are. Cheeks in your mouth, not in your butt. Not looking at butt cells. So when we're looking at the 2 types of organisms, we can either unicellular or multicellular. So that's our first fork in the road. Multicellular or unicellular. This is just to help you kind of frame where these notes are going. All right. When you are looking at an organism, it can either be unicellular and made up of a prokaryotic cell, cells, but there's just one of them. But they are kind of an exception to the rule. They're the weird kid in the protista. So prokaryotic cells, they are cells with no nucleus, just like Rashana said, and they do not have any membrane-bound organelles. So tomorrow we're going to talk about all of the different organelles that make up plant and animal cells and how awesome they are. Prokaryotic cells are unfortunately left in the dust and do not have these cool guys. So they have ribosomes, but they do not have mitochondria, they do not have Golgi apparatus, they do not have a vacuole, and most importantly, they do not have a nucleus, the mother of all cells. So some examples, if you see bacteria is an example of prokaryotic cell. Yeast is an example of prokaryotic cell.
Oriente Thomas, please report to the office. David Pitchford, please report to the office.
Additionally, prokaryotic cells, so they don't have a nucleus, they still have DNA, and the DNA is floating around, so it's just chilling on the inside of the cell. Okay, on your paper, make sure you put your name. We have 12 different questions that we're going to answer. And the first question, I want you only need to write down the answer. You do not need to write down the question. So what structure should you look for to determine if a cell is eukaryotic or prokaryotic? So what structure should you look for to determine if a cell is eukaryotic or prokaryotic? So just write down the structure for number one. And you can look at your notes and use your notes if you're not sure. Should you look for? Alright. Number 2. Most multicellular organisms are made up of this type of cell. Most multicellular organisms are made up of this type of cell. Alright. Number 3. Each of the illustrations below shows either a prokaryotic cell or a eukaryotic cell. Each cell is numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, which 2 cells should be classified as prokaryotic? So look to see if the cell has one of these guys. Does it have a nucleus? Look to see. Kind of like an avocado. Also look for organelles. So if it has any of the organelles over here, so all the cells in this room right now, well, I don't want to say generally, but all the cell models in this room right now are eukaryotic. So this is a eukaryotic cell, this is a eukaryotic cell, this is a eukaryotic.
Part of the nucleus. The nucleus will tell you she can do it all without me, but she's lying. I do the most important thing of all. I create RNA. Why is RNA so important? Well, because that leads to ribosomes, which lead to proteins. And as you know, proteins really are what make it all happen. So I'm quite an important little guy. Well, where might you find me on a quiet Saturday night? Tucked away somewhere deep within the brain. Make the entire operation run smoothly. If that sounds like your idea of a good time, then I'm the organelle for you.
How the dudes supposed to be lighter than females?
It is important because it holds important information and duplicates the information so that other people can. And duplicate what?
Oh, look, no, yeah, it's up there. It says some kind of organism. I'm not sure.
See, that's why he said he's not sure he's an organism. So he don't count himself as an organism. Oh,
What time?
I said, typing.
Where's that?
I said, don't get me wrong, this is one pick on a job.
Oh, heck of a job. Well done. Well done, Maria.
You was more than one. Did you stop thinking you was more than one? Okay, so number 6 wrong. 6 is not correct. No. With a pen, do what I do.
It's folded. It's like a laundromat. It's folded like a laundromat.
Oh, yeah.
The thing about.
Number 2 is eukaryotic.
Am I ready to say?
I made sure that packages are delivered all over the state. I might need to stop and, it's fitting.